Neil, how would you describe the pre-season?
Complete. I think as of Thursday night when we played Newbury, I think it sort of brought to an end a really good 12 weeks that the guys have committed to sticking together, buying into each of the sessions, and we've had the full spectrum of what we wanted to cover, from the strength and conditioning in the first phase to a little bit of team play and unit skills in the second phase, to your full-on brutal stage, getting us ready for Saturday's first game. So, very happy, and I think it's about as prepared as we could be.
You finished 9th last season, although it did go down to the last day, but that was a very creditable finish, I think, in the first season back in this division. What are your ambitions for this year? What's your target this year?
I think first and foremost, more of the same would be more than acceptable. Some people may say, you should be aspiring to do something better. Obviously, we want to be performing more consistently than we did last year, so that we're not securing our 9th position on the last day of the season like we did last year. But I think if we finish 9th again or around that position, but had secured that earlier before the end of the season, and that would be progress for us. We've got to keep in mind that the league is still hugely competitive. The teams that have come into it from the leagues below, I know when we came into it last year, all 3 sides stayed up, which was testimony to how competitive we were as a collective. I think the same again is true this year, with Maidstone coming up, Medway coming up, a very strong Totonian side coming into the league, and a very capable Chiswick side being transferred from another division. So I think overall, first and foremost, get yourself secure, so you get another season at level 6, and then look to push on from there. But round about mid-table would be a good starting point.
I hear that talk that there is money in this league. Have you heard the same sort of rumours?
Just a little bit, yeah. I think inevitably. The division that we play in, London 1 South, I think when you look at the makeup of the teams and the location of them around that southern London belt, you're always going to be able to generate some money around there, I would suggest. And from what I believe, that's true again this year. There's some crazy playing budgets being banded around. If they're anywhere near true, then they should all be looking at themselves thinking they're going to contend for the top 2 spots without a shadow of a doubt. But from our perspective, we mixed it last year very admirably and very competitively in a league that had a load of money in it. One of those teams has disappeared out of the league, thankfully. We've still probably got 3 or 4, but at the end of the day, I'd still pit our guys against theirs regardless of who they bring in.
Who do you think are the teams to watch this season? Who are the teams that you'll fear?
I don't think I fear anybody to begin with. I think you get out there on a Saturday and you've got just as good a chance as the opposition to get a result as long as you apply yourself. But I think the class sides last year were Chobham. I thought they looked very good, and they probably still kick themselves a little bit that they let that top spot go by some indiscretions off the field with registrations. Sutton and Epsom, we've spoken a couple of times, Brian, about how good I thought they were. I think they followed that up by putting a National League Chichester side to the sword, 40 points to 0 apparently at the weekend. And if that is... if that can bear any resemblance to the side that they're going to put out and that Chichester will put out this year in the league above, then clearly they're going to be someone to watch. I also thought that Brighton were an exciting rugby team. They had every facet that you would want, really, power and pace. I think they're probably the main ones that I would expect to be up round the top. But then, people like our friends down the road that haven't, I'm sure they won't be far or drift from the form once they get going again. And then you don't know what Maidstone are going to do with the supposed money that they've got.
On the subject of Chichester, of course, we've lost Tom Lewis to Chichester and Mark Jones has gone back to Wales. Yeah. But it's not all exits, is it? We've got some new talent coming, I believe.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, we've done quite well actually. I think during the summer, we've got Alex Cooksley, who is a back 3. We can play anywhere in the backs, but we're going to apply him in the back 3 to begin with. And he comes with some National League experience from Loughborough Students, which is no mean feat getting in that side. We have signed a prop, Ben Lanigan, who comes to the club with some National League experience from up in north with Penrith. and also full county honours for Cumbria and Hampshire as well. So if we get him and Tom Blackburn in the front row, I certainly think that's going to shore up any scrum. And then beyond that, it looks like we've signed Navy Rugby League centre, Max Boyce, should be registering for us this week. Hopefully it'll be done in time for the weekend. And then there's still a couple more to come in between now and the second or third game. I think they'll probably arrive. So I know all in all, I think we've obviously lost a couple of players. We've replaced them, for the want of a better word, in terms of very capable players coming in, and we've kept the core of the ones that did so well last year. So yeah, I think overall it's as strong a squad, if not maybe a little bit stronger in terms of the balance that we have. So yeah, pleased with it.
And of course on Saturday you couldn't have probably chosen a harder game than to go to second in the table Chobham from last season. It's a bit of a tough beginning, isn't it?
But I take the view. Clearly it's. I don't think there's any easy games in this league, and that's not a cliche. That is a fact that was proven last year in some of the matches we played. In terms of Chobham, I've said to a couple of the guys and other people around the area, look, you've got to play them at some stage during the season away from home. There's no point worrying about it. There's no point hiding from it. You may as well get it done and out of the way in the first game of the season. And at the end of the day, they're only human. They're in the same league as us for a reason, that they weren't good enough to get out, and we were good enough to stay in it. So from that perspective, it's just a case of getting up there, getting stuck in and applying yourself for 80 minutes. So yeah, come 4:30, we'll probably have the result that we deserve one way or the other. And I think if we play well, the result will take care of itself, really.
And I guess it's better than having away.
I think I wouldn't have particularly wanted to go to Hooks Lane for the first day of the season, but then again, you're going to second in the table, and I don't really think it matters where you play. You've got to get your first league game out of the way. We've had 3 very competitive pre-season matches. Talking to Joe Cloak on Thursday night after the Newbury game, he's certainly adamant that it's the best game preparation that we've had at the club for as long as he can remember, and I'm sure that'll pay dividends. The Northampton game was very physical against a stereotypical big Midland side that sort of blew away the cobwebs. The Portsmouth game was fantastic for us to get to play local opposition that was competitive, but also gave us an opportunity to put a lot of tries on the board against what I think would be a capable side in the league below this year. And then Thursday night against Newbury, the result didn't go our way, but the second half performance, I thought we were fantastic against what is really a carbon copy of the sides that we're going to play week in, week out this year. So yeah, I think at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter where you are. You've got to get that first game out of the way, and we'll do it on Saturday.